Streetwise Live. Looking for new and exciting investment opportunities? Learn from the experts about companies on the cutting edge of new discovery and companies reshaping industries. We ask the questions, you get the answers. And now for your host, Cindy Edwards.
Hello, everyone. Thanks to several ongoing medical trials, there's been a significant shift in how society views psychedelics. Much of the research pertains to mental health issues like addiction, depression, and PTSD. Algernon Pharmaceuticals is the only company that's studying the psychedelic DMT in a sub-psychedelic dose to treat stroke. In animal studies, DMT has been shown to help brain cells to form and make new connections, a process called neuroplasticity. Human trials are scheduled to start within weeks, and if successful, the potential is enormous. Joining us now are Algernon Pharmaceuticals CEO Chris Moreau and Steve Palmer, President and CEO of Alpha North Asset Management, Canada's largest hedge fund. Hello, gentlemen. Now, Steve, your fund owns 14% of Algernon stock. Why do you see this as a good investment?
Well, we like it, I guess, primarily because of the valuation. It's quite cheap. Currently, the value of the whole company is 6 to 7 million Canadian. We also like it because they have multiple programs. So I like companies that have multiple shots on goal, so to speak. And the trials that they're conducting are also lower risk than the typical biotech because they're using drugs that are already known to be safe.
Chris, DMT represents a potential new methodology for treatment of stroke, helping the brain to heal. So how would DMT impact people if you are successful?
Well, I think most people would be surprised to hear that about 85% of patients that have what's known as an ischemic stroke, that's a blockage in the brain, have no treatment options. The current treatments are a very, very heavy-duty clot-busting drug called TPA, but you have to present at the hospital within 3 to 4 hours, and that's often not possible. It depends when you're having the stroke. If you've been discovered by somebody, you might be alone at the time, you might be sleeping. And so that's an issue. Not everybody can take that blood thinner. They might have other conditions that would cause that to be a problem. They can mechanically try to go in and remove the clot, but a very small percentage. So 85% of patients, if they've had an ischemic stroke, are in the ICU, and there's nothing but watchful waiting. You're stabilized. You're kept hydrated, they keep your blood pressure down, but they're really hoping that the stroke or blockage will resolve, that you have a minimal deficit as you move on into rehab. So the potential of a stroke treatment drug is enormous. First off, the human side, the fact is that there is no standard of care except to watch and hope. On the market side, it's estimated to become a $15 billion market. And so it's truly global in scale and would have a huge impact on patients who suffer from this terrible injury.
Steve, Canadian healthcare analyst Andre Udine from Research Capital is giving Algernon a speculative buy rating with a target price of $25. Steve, how realistic is that target?
I think it's quite realistic. It's not often that you see an analyst target price so high above the current price of the stock, but with biotech companies, if they get clinical trial success, the rewards are enormous. I've spoken with Andre, and he could even say that it's a conservative target.
Chris, tell us how this psychedelic DMT is helping the brain heal after stroke.
Well, in the preclinical research, what we're seeing is that DMT encourages the growth of a protein called BDNF in the brain. And BDNF is very involved in the normal, healthy functioning of a neuron, but it also plays a vital role in neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity is the building of new synapses and new neural pathways that have to take place when there's an injury in the brain The neurons that are around the damaged area literally are reaching out to connect with each other. BDNF is definitely involved, and what we're seeing in the data is that DMT is encouraging that growth. So it's a cascade of events, and the preclinical is very promising, and we're very hopeful we'll see this in our patient trials as we advance.
Gentlemen, thank you both very much for joining us today. And to keep up to date on the latest Algernon news, go to streetwisereports.com. And don't forget to check out the podcast, Streetwise Listens with Lee Cummings. Thanks to all of you for tuning in today. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.